for lads? I mean,
lads is a Scottish term.
I thought it was. That was. I was hoping it was.
To be a man or young man.
See,
hard to be a lad.
How long did you practice your accent? Because I mean, it's spot on. I mean, it's great.
Oh, is that artificial?
Sure, why not? You buy it at the store.
A little bit of Sean Connery going there.
That's the bad is if I really get intoxicated, which has happened occasionally, my wife will say, "Go to your bro," because I can't understand a word you're saying in English.
Oh, you're fucking playing with me now.
I am.
I think that sounds great.
I appreciate that greatly. Your mum said so too.
Some things in here don't react well to bullets.
Man, I watch that movie at least once a year. I love that movie.
For Red October.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, classic.
We'll get stuck sometimes. It's really embarrassing. The other day, last weekend, I was at the deal. I was working the counter. And I said, it'll be 5 pounds, my lord. And they go, what? Never mind, I'm sorry.
Oh, boy.
That'd be $5, sir.
Come back. $5, sir.
$5.
So now Renfest is coming up. It's coming up fast, right?
Gearing up for that.
And you're brewing. You've already mentioned you're trying to brew up for all this. Now you've got an opening of a store in Pasadena. You've got all this brewing you've got to get done to get your Renaissance Festival up and running. Right, you have drums beating at your door every night. Where are you going to spend the night during Renfest this year?
Where am I going to spend the night? In bed.
Absolutely.
Is this personal?
Okay.
Mike,
What is?
I'm a married man.
What is?
All right, there's a tear
He's
coming
turned me
down from my eye
down.
right now.
So what?
I'm not saying you can't afford me, but it's going to be high.
Are you going to stay on grounds? In
Yeah,
Titusville?
Yeah, so
No.
we built the brewery. So Renfest, there's booths that are there.
Absolutely.
A lot of people don't know that
There's housing behind a
There's
lot
a
of those.
rear building
Yep,
that
yep.
we built by hand.
Oh, wow.
The two of us
Everything,
and
yeah.
another
James
one of
O'Neill.
our guys, James O'Neill. That we literally went up there every weekend for a summer and hammered and nailed and poured concrete and built a
wiring
building.
and pole pipes and
So
everything.
And when we did it, we built a second story that's just housing.
Oh, cool! And that,
We thought
you had
ahead.
already mentioned that this was where your apprenticeship had happened.
Yeah.
If you get a couple of apprentices during the Renfest season, and they stay up there in the housing, so you are going to continue the tradition of
Yes.
staying at your housing during
Oh, yeah.
Renfest.
It's too far to drive back and forth.
That is
literally.
awesome.
And
Yeah.
the traffic's
That is
too
awesome.
horrible.
And you've got to keep that brewery running. That's your mainstay, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's where you
Yeah.
started. That's your
But it's not going anywhere.
that's your shit.
We tried hooking up the trailer, it wouldn't work.
Now there will be some personnel changes in that since we have a tap room in the new location and we have a production facility in the location. Some of us will have to split time probably.
Right.
But, I mean-
I think that's going to grow your forces, though. Right?
We are.
Yeah,
We'll
absolutely.
increase
Grow your
crew.
forces.
We've been really lucky. We got about 17 people who work with us year round, and we're fixing to expand that probably to about 34 probably.
Yeah.
So my favorite things about you is not only are you a new trend, but you don't do beers that are a new trend because you do things the old way. So
Right.
it's kind of like a new trend meets the old trend kind of thing, and I really enjoy that. Not only do I enjoy the beers, but the whole y'all opening in Pasadena with the beer school. I think it really you're trying to propel the art of brewing.
We do.
And I can
Yeah.
appreciate that and respect
Oh,
that for
absolutely.
sure.
Yeah. I mean, everyone that follows my blog knows that I'm all about the hip, hot styles and, trying to follow things around. But that's like nothing that I've ever wanted from you because you guys make classic, just on point beers every single time. And
Now,
I don't
will
want
say,
that going away,
We did a hazy IPA about 9 years ago.
Yeah.
It wasn't what?
It's time to. It's,
We were way ahead of the curve.
We did an IPA and it was
Didn't
hazy.
reach clarity.
yeah, right.
Is that an RF IPA?
Yeah,
An RF IPA? A Renaissance Festival?
I mean, bring it back. I mean, you're gonna have people lined outside your door.
Bring it back.
we're not doing hazy IPA.
I know.
Get them trendy sours.
Trendy sours,
no.
yeah. We made 2 sours at the brewery so far.
Yeah.
Both by accident.
Really?
That's what I used to call sours was ruined beer.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That's what the entire industry calls it.
It's an effective beer.
I used to say the Goza. Yeah, it goes right down the drain.
Get out of here, Mike. Get out of here.
I'm sorry. I really am. It's a solid style these days, and people
It is.
try to brew
It
it,
is.
and it's a historically accurate beer. It's just
is.
when you're trying to do it historically accurate, I respect it.
Absolutely.
When you're trying to sell beer that you fucked up, I do not respect you.
That's marketing.
That is bullshit. That is not marketing.
Green Ogre's marketing.
Yeah.
We had an apprentice who worked with us for a couple of years, and then instead of putting 0.6 ounces into a 10-gallon batch, he put in 6 ounces of hops.
Yeah, so-
Arrogant Bastard was made by accident.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that happen by accident, and that's the thing on the brewery floor is you never know what's going to happen on the brewery floor from day to day. You might make some simple error in your head, and the next thing you know, if you keep your records accurate, you go back and look at it and go,
Yeah.
Everything's written down.
oh my God, I think I just discovered that a myth that I heard from someone is bullshit.
Bullshit.
Or, or maybe, oh my God, it did need more hops. I just made a miscalculation and forgot the decimal.
right.
No, Green Ogre, we've actually refined it. Like the first batch was a pure accident and was just crunchy. Like you could chew it.
That's a good story.
It's so
Yeah.
much
It's
fun.
like you pull back a little on this and maybe we got something.
So we refined it a bit. It's still just a kind of a bitter monster, but
Brad's not an IPA guy. I am.
I
That's
enjoy
my
it.
best beer. It's my favorite beer.
Yeah.
I recognize it.
It's
for
beer
what
number
it
2
is.
for me.
I love malty beers.
Actually,
He likes
3.
hoppy beers. So
Yeah, we're team malty and hoppy.
Right? Malty and hoppy.
Well balanced.
Well balanced.
Well balanced.
We're looking at John.
John's looking at porn. John's looking at porn over there.
I'm hitting 28 different angles. Okay, so one thing about the Green Ogre, I guess, is that if you kind of miss on a recipe and you have a brew pub license, you can just call it whatever you want, And whereas if you have a production brewery, you got to send off for label approval and stuff.
Well, that's actually not true. You could put it in the tap room and sell it without a label approval.
Well, exactly. That's my point. Brew pub, you have the little
Brew
bit of flexibility.
too,
I mean, anything you brew, you can call it something. And
Brew pub has a lot of benefits to it. In fact, I don't know why anybody would open up a brewery right now.
So,
unless you're $1 million.
but when y'all
Right.
opened
Yeah,
up,
right.
you had to be under the brewery, right? Did y'all?
No, we were a brew pub star nationally.
because
Brew pub to
they were
start.
going to be on site from day one. Yeah.
We were on site since day
Oh,
one,
okay.
and then we worked with the legislature in 2013. We worked really hard with the guild to get the law changed to allow brew pubs to sell outside of our system.
And the guild
Right,
was kind of spearheaded from a brew pub guy in San Antonio, Freetail. I mean, he was
Scott,
Scott,
yeah, he was on the board. Yeah,
Yeah, he
Scott
was.
Metzger.
Yeah,
Scott
he
Metzger.
was. So you could argue that brew pubs made the biggest jump forward.
we made. I would say that, but I would tell you that the breweries, the production breweries, were staying with us and we stood side
Oh,
by
yeah,
side.
yeah.
The guild's been really, really beneficial. With I've been in other industries before, and if I was in retail sales and talked to a competitor, I get fired. In brewing, it's a brotherhood. And
Absolutely.
Brothers and sisters in brew. Yeah,
it's all about the beer. And if we need help, I can call somebody. A few years ago, Black Plague was having problems, and I gave a bottle to Brock Wagner and one to Eric Warner, and both of them came back and
Gave you an analysis
yes.
or what you
I said,
thought?
tell me what's right, what's wrong. Something's not right in this beer. What's wrong with it?
Right.
And they both came back and said, just pitch more yeast. So that's what you need to do. We were underpitching our yeast.
Right.
We're
So
competitors.
you're getting slight esters and way too cloying sweetness in the background.
Yeah. So it's a nice business. People are supportive of each other. If you need something, we help you out. You help us out. But we're all competitors in the market, though.
Well, every time we've asked somebody what the most surprising thing about this market when you join it with the brewery was the collaboration with each other and the brotherhood that happens between everybody. That was the most surprising thing. And, before we opened, and we opened after you guys, we opened in 2012.
Right.
And we had announced both to Brock and to, at the time,
Southern Star.
it was Brian
Dave.
Williams at Southern Star. Dave was the head brewer, but
Right.
Brian was the guy that we knew that we dealt with at the time. And
Good folks
we-
at Southern Star.
yeah, and we announced it to both of them that we were going to open, and nothing but hey, rising tide floats all boats. If you
Yeah.
have any problems, give us a call.
And they mean it.
And they do. They
100%
absolutely
mean it.
mean it.
No,
And we'd
absolutely.
see them at trade shows, and it's like there's like the trade show that everybody goes to where they get to drink these beers from all these other breweries. What they don't understand, there's like a second trade show going
Behind the
on in
scene,
the
yeah,
back, in the
exactly.
behind the scenes,
Yeah.
where we're all having like the best time of our life drinking everybody else's beer. And the last thing you're going to be caught drinking is your own beer because there's
got
so
that at
many
home.
other beers.
Oh, absolutely,
Exactly.
yeah.
And it turns into this thing, and then the next thing you know, it's 2 a.m, and you still got a half a keg to drink. And
That's right.
It's a beautiful thing. And, the brotherhood among brewers is really, it was my unexpected. It was so many others unexpected. So,
And that goes around the United States. I travel and go to the places, and it doesn't matter where you're at in the United States and in the world. Actually, my daughter went to England and dropped her card on a distillery, and they treat her like she was a queen.
Right, right.
She works for us at the brewery, so it's not like she was just out
there. Better if everybody's bar is raised,
exactly.
then we all keep raising, right? I mean, that's the thing.
It's making things better and helping people out.
We randomly walked into a winery a couple of years ago, and they just treated us like we were VIPs.
We had to tell them stop.
Yeah, actually, I still got to drive to where I'm going.
I'll give you a good example of that is Southern Star used to make Mort Levant, and they stopped making it. It's a very expensive beer to make. It's a very hard beer to make. My wife's favorite beer in the entire world.
That was the Saison?
It's a beer de garde.
Beer de garde, yeah.
So my wife, and we're talking to Dave one day, she says, you stopped making Mort Levant, and just it's my favorite beer. And he goes, well, tell you what, Alan, it's yours. You can have it now. And he came out and helped us make the first batch. So we will be releasing Mort Levant in October.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Le Mort Levant.
Cool.
Well, Le Mort Levant Sissavant, which means remembered.
Sissavant. Nice.
Yeah.
That is freaking awesome. So, are you going to be serving that at the Ren Fest?
We'll
when
have
you get
some
a hold
on tap
of it?
because
that's probably going to be what 7-8%.
No, it's not. It's not 6.2. We did it last year. Dave came out and brewed it with us at the fair. Put it on tap. We sold out except for the case I had for my wife to take home.
Lucky lady.
Nobody heard that.
Got to take care of mama.
Yep.
But yeah, it sold out last year, and we'll do it again this year. It's just a really hard beer to brew.
Yeah, it is.
It's tough. If she didn't love it, we wouldn't make it because it's a decoction.
Yeah, fragile little beast.
Yeah.
Decoctions are tough. And with your new water system, I guess that's even more.
That's going to be. We can do three. We need
3 barrels of decoction. Yeah. So that's the one drawback to that system where you pull the 10 away from it is if you're going to do any decoction, you can only use one and then the other.
But we can't do it. We have another vessel. We just don't use it as a mash tun.
Well, what you have to do is split the two systems into one system and grab that second mash tun and turn it into your
kettle.
Yeah, turn it into your decoction.
Exactly.
So you're losing half, but you can overjuice your mash tun and not have to make it up because you are decocting. So you can get about.
We'll get 3 barrels out of it.
Yeah. I think so.
What's the last beer over there? We haven't opened that one.
It's an experimental beer, I believe.
It's an experimental beer.
So we've been calling it Rustin's IPA. I think at one point we were going to name it Humulus Lupulus Chimera.
No, we're working
really
on
difficult.
Can you spell that, please?
Yeah.
Is there an abbreviation?
Well, we're looking to make sure it's not taken because I don't want to cease and desist letter.
Right now it's...
Hey, hopefully it's from Bud Light, right?
Bud Light, well, yeah.
Then you get tickets to the Super Bowl.
Dilly.
Right now
I hate that term.
Right now it's Rustin's IPA, and it's one of our brewers, Rustin Royal. It's his recipe.
This thing smells exquisite.
It is. And,
it is good.
We're going to tweak it a little bit, and we're going to redo it. That's going to come out in the market. Wow. We're looking for
dry hopping the shit out of this, huh?
Yeah. And that's got a plethora of hops in it.
Oh, my God.
That's a very hoppy, expensive beer.
And grass and...
Really clean.
Good Lord,
man.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
like
it is
that.
crisp.
I like that.
It's got like a citrus crisp to it.
Yeah, we got to give Rustin credit for this one.
He did a good job with this. He came to us and
smells clean.
He said, "I want to do this," and we looked at it. and He did it once at home, and I said, "Okay, let's do it here."
Extra if anybody.
We're gonna tweak
Brewery was this done at? Your new one in Pasadena?
our new one, our new one. Yeah,
y'all are. What's the water problems y'all are talking about?
Oh well, no, it's the amount of water we need per grain. We're tweaking.
Yeah, well, you've been brewing on like 18th century equipment for so long. I mean, come on now. This is a good beer.
Put my thumb in it, dude.
This is really good. Hey, Turbid Brewing, I mean, they acted all like they knew what was going on, and then they just threw it out to the thing and said, "Please, God, make this beer."
We have no idea what we're doing.
Right?
This is really good.
like
It's
that.
super smooth, easy drinking, very...
Yeah, we're going to tweak
very
one thing on it. We want a little
sessionable,
more mouthfeel. It's a little thin, we think. So we're going to fix that problem.
Actually, I would say it's thick, but it's dry, and I think dry is good in this style of beer. Yeah. So I would say rock on. I'd say it was good.
I'd say the mouthfeel's pretty
it's a
good.
It's a cleaning swipe as it goes through.
We're a little overprotective of our own stuff.
Yeah.
I'd say before I got a shot, I'd be like, "Doctor, can you use my favorite IPA? Because if I'm going to get alcohol on my system, I want it to be good, not that rubbing alcohol shit you're using."
Exactly. So that'll probably come out in the fall.
Awesome
in stores.
So why don't y'all tell us where you're located again? I know John's been over. Where are you located?
I'm located at 5041 Spencer Highway, number 703, Pasadena, Texas, right across from Don Keys. We are about a quarter mile west of the Beltway, so you can get there easily. It's easy access no matter where you're at.
Yeah, super easy.
Convenient. We're looking at having a grand opening on August 25th. That'll be a ticketed event. And rumor has it that we have one of our patrons last weekend. I can say this, we had a patron come to last weekend and say, hey, they're